Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of the TS101 Smart Soldering Iron. This iron has been provided by PCBWay, a great company. They reached out and wanted to work with me. So um, I will be doing some custom PCBs at some point, but until then they were willing to send a couple of items. This is the first of them. So this is a soldering iron that I've been eyeballing for a while. Just a simple soldering iron that I can take with me and keep in my backpack. So let's take a look at it. TS101. It's got all the different information you may need. It's got the actual soldering iron. From what I understand, I think these do take the same tips as the pencil and the TS100. I will be getting a new one. I'm not a huge fan of just I like the pointed tips. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of chisel tip thing. So I'll get that ordered before too long. But yeah, let's see what else does it come with. A little stand so you can keep it stood up. I, however, will probably be using something more like this to hold it. Just, I don't know, I trust this a little more than this little piece of plastic. But this little piece of plastic's fine. It's a good piece to start with. Oh, let's actually look and see what it says about that. Okay, now that actually goes on. So it goes on like that. So it kind of has a built-in stand. That's much more usable. I would use it that way for sure. Still think the little wire stand is probably best, but that'll definitely work. Let's see. See if we can look at some voltage and temperatures for it. So here's a list of all the different tips you can get. And it comes with a TSBC2. So it comes with a 45-degree tip. So I'd probably want the B2 or the I. Or even the ILS. Some of the stuff I work with is pretty small. Alright, let's see if we can find the English instructions. Alright, there we go. So it has USB-C and barrel connector. DC 5525 barrel connector. So the multiple working voltages. So 12 volt, 1.3 amps, so 16 watts. Will take 43 seconds to heat up the iron. It works with power delivery, so that'll help. So again, 12 volt, 1.4 amp, 16 watts power delivery will heat up to in 43 seconds to 300 degrees Celsius from 30 degrees Celsius. Looks like you can use up to a 28 volt PD power supply. I'll have to look at the ones I got. So instead of using this right here, right now, I'm actually going to use it while I'm out and about. I'm going to bring a soldering kit with me, or a soldering kit, little project that I've been planning to show y'all for a while. I'm going to go ahead and bring it with me, and we will put that together while I'm at work or out and about with a place to sit down. So until then, after I stopped recording, I realized that there was something I missed. Underneath the foam padding, there's another box, and it has a USB-C to C charger. Seems like a pretty decent one. Let's see. 2 to 3 feet long. So not really long. I would probably like something a little longer, depending on where you're going to have to plug it in. If you can plug it in on a desktop, that's great. But if you have to plug it in into the wall and next to the floor, then you're kind of running out of space real quick with such a short C to C cable. But with that, we will find a charger, a power delivery charger, and we'll get everything charged. All right, we'll find a power delivery charger, and we will get to soldering. All right, I've been trying to get this portion of the video recorded for a while. I've run into a few issues. Well, one big issue is just time, and then the other issue is I tried every USB charger I've had in the house to get this thing to work. And just all the ones I have, I guess, just don't put out enough power. So it will take a little bit higher powered USB charger to get this done, for this to work. Of course, you can always use the DC plug if you have one. But I went ahead and picked up this gallium nitrate, or nitride, whatever it is, charger, 65 watts from Ugreen. Never used either. This is my first Ugreen product. I just needed a new charger. I wanted one that would work with this that I can keep in my bag, so I decided to go with this. So I'll get it all plugged in, get it working. I do want to say, I think I mentioned earlier, that I'm not a huge fan of this. There we go. This tip. So I went ahead and picked up 2 more. I got this tip, which is pretty similar to the soldering iron I currently use. Oh, well, this is a little sharper than I thought. But it's pointed, a little more. And then I also got the one that's super sharp. Probably a little closer to the soldering iron I currently use. So most likely I'll be using one of these 2 most often, but I'm going to first try it with the one that came with it. So let's get everything wired up so that I can start soldering and get this little bug here soldered with it and see how it goes. was using this flat tip. It's still hot. Oops. Oh well. And like I suspected, I am not a fan of it. I will be swapping to one of the more pointed tips that I bought before I use this again. If you're interested, there's a couple of 3D printed cases for these. I'm going to look at them online, and I'm even going to see if I can modify one of them to hold that charger as well, so that one, I have a place that the charger keeps and everything. This is a kind of a learn how to solder bug that I found on AliExpress that I've really thought about carrying on my store. If this is something you'd be interested in, let me know in the comments. Maybe I will just keep a small batch of these around, or even just throwing them in random orders, or even just give them away. It's a fun little project. It's got the light reactive uh, resistor, so whenever it starts to get dark, the lights come on. The darker it gets, the brighter the LEDs get. So definitely a quick, cool little project. Probably be something a lot of kids would like, just for the fact that it turns on whenever the lights go out. So, but as for this TS101, it's absolutely great. I really like it. It is going to have a permanent place, not only in my bag, but possibly on my desk. I really like using it even over my bigger soldering iron. Just how light it is really nice. Obviously, like I said, I don't like the tip, but that's just one small thing whenever you can get a ton of different tips. Just for an example of some of the tips that they sell. So you got a couple of chisel tips, a couple pointed tips. So just here there's 7 tips that they sell. I think for 50 bucks you can get all 7 of them. I picked each of these up for 10 or 12 bucks a piece. But these are the only 2 I'll probably ever use. And most likely just this one. Maybe the pointed one. There are a few things that, like, it'd be nice to just have that real tiny directed heat, but they will both be in the kit no matter what I do. Again, great project. I've got to say thanks to PCBWay for sending me these, for sending me the soldering iron. It's a great little soldering iron. I'm happy to have it in my collection now and to be able to use it. It'll definitely help whenever I'm out and about. And if there's something that comes up, or a friend has an electronic that broke, which I've had happen many times, I don't have to come back home and load up my big soldering iron. I'll probably just have this in my bag ready to go. I've got a similar version of it from Newbie Drones. It's more of an off-brand. I'll just kind of show comparison. It's probably a fine soldering iron. I know the reviews are pretty good on it. So here it is. The reviews were fine on it. It's got an even kind of more rounded tip, and it's all analog, the adjustment on it, and it is DC only. So one thing I really like about this is that it is USB-C and power delivery. But one thing that's cool about the DC only, which will work on either of these, is I do a little bit of drone flying, or I'm trying to learn anyway. And this kit from Newbie Drone did come with the adapter so that you can just hook it up to a 4S or 6S battery and start soldering from there. But again, this can be had from any store. It doesn't have to come from the kit I got. But out of these 2, for sure, the TS101 is an awesome product. And if the TS100 is anything similar, which I believe it is, I know it has a huge following, it's probably just as good. And I believe both of them can be had from PCBWay on their store. They sell a bunch of different things. I have another video coming up soon of a little 30mm by 30mm hot plate that they also sent me. If you're in the market for a portable, lightweight, easy to carry, easy to use soldering iron, it's a great product. I'll have the link to it from PCBWay down in the description if you'd like to pick one up. Thanks for tuning in. If you like these videos, let me know. I know review videos, seems like I'm doing a few more of those here recently. They're not typically my go-to style of video. Projects are more my thing. And the project videos will be continuing soon. Follow me over on Twitter and Instagram. That's where I'll post about the case I'm going to print and possibly release if I do modify it for these. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.